Do a quick 30.
A quick 30, bro.
We are live.
It's lit.
Before we started off, I wanted to ask if everyone has their favorite lamps by their bedside, on their desk, somewhere in sight. I think it's an important thing that a lot of hobbyists overlook is having a proper lamp, you know?
Absolutely. Hello, Jake Smith, and welcome everybody to another episode of Joker Hour. I'm here with my co-host Jake, and I am your boy Nest. What's going on? We are here to talk about, of course, cards, trading widgets, eBay, and of course, our personal emotions. Jake Smith, I'm gonna follow your lead. You start her off. You're the pilot. You got the plane behind you. Where are we flying to, Big Derek? Where are we going?
Well, we're on Spirit, because in the hobby, I think it's really important to save every penny because you never know when the big lick is just around the corner, you know? Um, so flying Spirit, um, not taking any bags, just your wallet. Just make sure you have as much cash as possible on your person, and flying with Spirit, it really helps with that. It doesn't help your butt. Your butt's going to be sore. Wherever you're going to be flying on Spirit, your butt's going to hurt. Um, but you can make up with that for that by buying a bunch of cards with your extra money. So yeah, I'm feeling good tonight, dude. I'm juiced.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully everyone in the chat's pretty juiced tonight. Um, are you juiced? We're going to Chicago. Why aren't you juiced, dude? We're gonna fly in on Spirit, obviously. We have a lot of extra cash, and we're gonna go to the con, buy a few cards, and then we're going to go actually spend all our business cash on other things like arcade bar, art museum. What else? Riding the train wherever we want. Oh, I got to take you to Chinatown. We got to go to Chinatown. Um, I don't know if I should tell this story on the pod, but the last time I went to Chinatown was wild. I was
Mm,
with one of my buddies,
you don't have to tell it on
and
the pod. This pod is about cards.
oh, okay, yeah,
Does it involve cards?
it was definitely not in the cards to experience this experience that I experienced. Um, basically, hopefully, something as interesting as this happens to us when we're going there. There's always something crazy happening on the train, but yeah, I was with my buddy and we were standing up in a super packed car, like a train car, and this guy is sitting down with like really nice Jordans, and this little 2-year-old like goes over and like trips over them and like steps on them, and like he like looks at the kid and is like, get off my effing shoes. And like at that point, the mom, who is Puerto Rican, goes on to start shouting the N word at this guy, yelling at him in his face over and over and over again.
Whoa.
She's super white, and she's saying she's Puerto Rican, so that's a good excuse, to
What?
spout
Went
off like
left.
that. So yeah, it went super left, and everyone is just sitting there, just like minding their own business, just watching this happen. No phones, no anything, just watching this Puerto Rican lady go off on this black guy for the smallest thing. So I'm hoping when we go to Chicago, we experience something interesting. Hopefully, it's not something like that, but that's where my mind's at. I'm always interested in going to Chicago because something always goes left. So
So you're saying there's a lot of like different cultures there, and
a lot of
things could
cultures.
potentially go left at any point. There could be too much seasoning in the pot, and it just gets spicy. Is what you're basically what I'm gathering.
Yeah, yeah, big old spicy soup.
I mean,
Um,
you love Chicago, right? You always talk about it. You always talk about how you love Chicago.
uh huh. Trying to spread the love, dude. Hopefully, hopefully people are down to go out at night. you know, and not just like rip Stellar Miracle in a hotel room. But we'll see. We'll see. If anyone in Chicago wants to, not stay at the hotel and rip packs, hit us up. We'll be trying to find something fun to do. So, um,
Yeah, dude, I'm totally gonna go.
totally gonna go, dude. If I go there and I'm not vending anymore because I want to mess around, have fun filming potentially, and just like enjoy a vacation while everyone's in town and just like chill at night with people that we want to see. But yeah, if I go there alone and you're like, yeah, fool, I'll be right there, and I'm like sitting in the airport and I watch a Spirit plane come down, no Ernie. I go to another gate, watch a Spirit plane come down, no Ernie. It's just gonna get real dark real quick for me. I might just take the next flight home if that happens. So yeah, hopefully
Uh,
you come along.
all right, so we'll see. Now, I would like to start the pod with our first topic, this pizza. Let's talk about it. Now, here's the thing. I've been known to enjoy a good pizza, Jake Smith, but this one specifically is interesting. What we got here is half cheese, half pep mush uns from Papa John's. Now, chat, what are we giving this? What's the ranking from 1 through 10? What are we giving this puppy right here?
Please give an honest ranking. I have my ranking in mind, um, and I have some thoughts in mind as well, because you sent me this, and you know it's probably because I do need therapy, but I was immediately tilted, and like you shouldn't get tilted over what other people's pizza choices are. Um, but sometimes it happens.
It's not
Sometimes you
bad.
just get
It-
tilted.
It's not bad, bro. You got a little meat over here if you're hungry. You got a little light cheese over here for the snack. You got the pepperoncinis. You're living, bro. You're chilling.
I think my issue is, and I'm I was fully so like when we were hanging out in Miami, I'm fully down to get light cheese, try what you like, all that sort of good stuff. But when I'm getting pizza, I don't want to hear the word light at all. Like
No.
that's a word I don't like. Maybe if I'm getting a chicken salad, oh yeah,
Hmm.
light dressing, or
Yeah.
chicken salad, light on the arugula. You can put light.
Okay.
If you're ordering from Papa John's
Hmm.
and you say light into the telephone or click light on a computer screen,
Yeah.
I it short circuits my brain in a way that I can't move on. I get stuck.
Okay.
Because and I can explain it more, because to me, so you're basically, when you're buying a pizza, there's a base price, right? And that's the cheese pizza. So you're paying a certain amount for the item.
Right. You've made this argument before, but the thing you got to factor in is I don't think about what I'm paying. I just think about what I want to eat, if that makes sense. So if I think that the pizzeria uses too much cheese, I'll tell them light cheese. I'm not tripping on that I lost cheese value. I just want the amount of cheese that I like. I don't want the pizza to be soggy with that grease from all that cheese. Light cheese is actually normal cheese.
See, I get where you're coming from, but it tilts me
Let me stop you
because
right there. I'd like to show you something, Dick Smith. I just found this today. It's a hobby death note.
oh, okay.
Anything I write on this death note, dude, is automatically
Can you send that to me and I'm gonna write down light cheese?
light cheese on it. All right, hold on.
Yeah, can you write light cheese real quick? Because and I know you don't care about price, but there's something about paying more for less that me as growing up as a fat child and me still having a stomach of a fat person, and also being, somewhat fat, it just tilts me,
Here you go.
Oh,
Is
it's a
that
good
good?
list. Yeah.
Yeah, so far I only put 4 people on the list because I'm trying to be mindful with the D note.
Yeah, Chevals, be quick to add in your last comment. Make it good, because
Yeah,
or
you're done.
does it take? Is he
Takes
dead?
7 days. It takes 7 days.
Oh, 7 days. Okay,
7
perfect.
days. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
So let's go ahead and share. No, it's too early. Let's go to private. Let's see. Did we forget to plug the Discord? Folks, are you tired of not talking about the hobby? Join the Discord, dude. We're always in there talking about the hobby. You randomly will catch a shiny pillar that will be drinking water from the pond, and you can maybe catch a little nuance on the fly. You know, Mason will stream to you his silly video games. Okay, Squeaks will flex on you with his posters.
Hmm.
Tap in. All right, join the Discord. I'll put it in the Z chat. Okay.
Please join. Bring your master balls. Um, don't join though if you have an allergy against e-lottery cards, because those will be shown daily. So
Are you
just be
talking shit?
aware.
Wait, are you talking bad
Whoa,
about
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Elottie?
whoa! No, no,
No,
no! I didn't say anything, dude. It was a
I
slip
already
of.
put I already put the J, dude. I put the J already.
I'm close, dude. I only have three more chances.
I'm just saying, dude. This shit's real. All right, let's get to the topics because we have a lot of stuff that I don't care about to talk about. All right,
Okay,
here we go.
that's
Topic number one. There's 75 jokers watching this podcast not subscribed. Let's just start off right away. Let me get hot right away. According to our statistics and estimations from the YouTube views, there's 75 of you that are not subscribed. I'm hot. What do you think, Jake Smith?
um. I'm a big proponent of like letting people live their life. Big libertarian over here. Just do whatever you want, boys and girls. Um, but at the same time, it is the biggest button on the screen.
It's a huge button. You just click it.
Maybe I don't know. Click it for fun. Click it off. Click it back on. Make us feel something. That's all we want. Chat. Can you make us feel something?
Um, so this brings me into the next thing here. Being too early. Jake Smith, there's a thing called being too early. Okay. I'll give you an
Mm-hmm.
example of people being too early that I personally know. The man on the screen, Pokemon DNA, Diener,
Mm-hmm.
he was too early. By the time he figured out that he should flip ultis from Yu-Gi-Oh, nobody cared. And then he was like couldn't be bothered, and then he left. And then, well, technically still nobody cared. But the point is he was still early.
Yeah. Did
Okay.
people ever care?
No.
Okay, that's
Here
why he's early. Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah,
early.
yeah,
Here's
yeah.
another one. Here's another one. I remember Colson, he's like, oh, I'm gonna start collecting pristine tens, like Beckett pristine tens. I got only one pristine tens. He was early. Those have done really well in the past, I don't know, 6 months to a year. But he probably sold a lot of them too. So sometimes you can know something's undervalued, get it, and be 2, 3 years too early, which I think that's kind of a trip, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ultis are interesting just because they're such cool cards and unique in a way. Like, there's a lot of cards that have texture, but every card game kind of has their own texture vibe. I think Yu-Gi-Oh's really stands out, um, personally. But when you're grading mid-area Yu-Gi-Oh ultimate rares, it looks sick, but no one cares. Kind of like the ultimate rares that I really like, and that we were all like, DNA and Colson. We were grading a bunch of these because they were cheap, and I mean, they'd be OC and kind of hard to find minty, but whenever you did find a minty and grade them a 10, it felt really good because you had such a cool card you just graded. But then you're still stuck in the realm of nobody cares. So that, yeah, you can definitely be too early because
Have you? Is there anything you were too early to and you had to sell, or I'm not saying it always happens, obviously, otherwise I'd be a millionaire, but I do remember a few times where like our own friends were too early and then just kind of had to sell out, or they just couldn't wait it out to when things would appreciate, you know? Um,
mhm. I don't really have anything like that other than like last year when Japanese Sun and Moon boomed with the waifus. I probably sold like 500 to $600 worth of graded cards. Like it was like a few cards a week before the boom that if
one
like
sec.
they didn't sell, it would have
Mhm.
been around like 1500 to 2K. So, I mean,
Oh, I see.
it's really all luck being too early or catching that ride. And like the way you like counteract the luck is just having more inventory, like more duplicates. Like I only had one of each of those cards and I sold them kind of right away because they were liquid cards at the market price, and then everything boomed, and I wasn't able to capitalize on that. Um, and then proceeded to make some bad decisions buying those same types of Sun and Moon cards at 2 to 3x raw price of what they were the week before, just out of like FOMO. But yeah, I think you can be too early, but that doesn't. I don't think that should take away from your enjoyment of said thing. Like it does suck when something doesn't sell, but I mean at the same time, I think you should definitely if you have the money and the time, you should definitely try to find stuff you like and grade it if you want to and see how the market handles it. But
Yeah, I kind of thought I was too early, a little bit too early with some of the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Like even the Maru show that I was grading, just the market's just not there. There's just not enough of it graded for there to be even enough sales to establish a market, you know? Like I was basically setting the market, dude, and I had like 10 slabs or something. So it's like you kind of want to flip something that has consistent sales. Um, but um, but yeah, I guess
well,
sometimes you're
you
too
know
way too
what?
early.
It's a little early in the pod, but we might have a guest coming on who can
Okay.
he's got most likely a very long story, but it will be
Hmm.
very informational. If you say it's not informational, I'm not your friend. Um, but he's going to be hopping in here soon. And yes, if you were wondering, he is a pillar.
It's EDD. It's a DNA.
No, this
Um.
man, this man,
Oh, hey yo, Squeaks, what's going on?
All
here he
right, first
is.
of all, there is no such thing as too early to Yu-Gi-Oh, my friend. Okay? Nah.
Oh, are you
Let's
full
go.
Yu-Gi-Oh? Are you full Yu-Gi-Oh now?
No, I'm saying that Yu-Gi-Oh never hit. You can't you can't be too early, dog, if it never goes off,
Oh,
right?
oh, okay, that's dark.
Oh,
Mm,
brother, he just realized his own.
Jesus, yo, Squeaks, what's up with that beard, man? You looking right? Oh, GG,
did
and
we
that's
lose
all
our
we got,
pillar?
folks. Yep.
Oh no.
Oh,
Too
he's
Oh,
fast.
back. All right.
I'm back.
there we go. There
Yeah,
he
my
is.
camera's dying because I'm moving too fast.
Mhm. So I guess that's all we needed to get Squeaks on the pod was to show pizza in the first 4 frames of the episode.
I think
Huh?
so.
Hey, Squeaks, maybe go upstairs where the internet works, Big Dirt.
I am upstairs. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm on mobile, so you gotta deal with what you gotta deal with. I can flip off of my Wi-Fi. Maybe if I just like set my phone in one spot, so it doesn't have to like.
well, I certainly appreciate you tapping in because me and Jake Smith have a combined total of half a brain cell. So,
Whoa, we have at
Sweet.
least two.
so how are
Can you hear
you?
me now?
What's
Am I good?
yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Great. I have a story for you guys
All
about
right,
being
here we
too
go.
early. Um, And I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I should have done.
Is it rated R or is it?
Oh yeah,
for
dude. I'm
kids?
actually getting ready to take my shirt off while I tell it. So,
Oh, perfect. Okay.
No, back in it would have been 2016. So this is the year Pokemon Go came out. But Pokemon Go has not come out yet. So Pokemon Go came out around like June, July. And this would have been Wisconsin Regional, so it would have been like May, right? And I had somebody reach out to me that had a collection. And well, okay, sorry. I had somebody reach out to me that their friend had a collection. They were like an OG professor from the Pokemon program or whatever, and they were looking to get out. And they had already sold some of the stuff over the years, but they were pretty sure it was still a huge collection. They put me in contact. And so I was talking to the guy and I was like, hey, what do you got? And he had a master set collection from base set unlimited to Furious Fists. So master sets, when I say that, I mean like true master sets, all staff promos, all pre-release promos, all airs, everything. Gold stars, crystals, shinings, the works. And we were getting ready to vend a regional at that time. And so this is back when I'm first getting started. I've only ran the store for a year. And so didn't have a ton of money. Like what I did have, I really needed to keep for that regional so that when we went, we could buy and sell cards and do all of that. And I talked to the guy and now you have to, I'm going to tell you what I paid for this. I don't know if I've ever publicly told people what I paid for this, but I'll tell you what I paid for it. But you have to keep it in the framework of like 2016, not today's framework. It was still a great deal at the time, but not like as crazy as what it would be today. But I messaged the guy and we were like talking about what he had and everything. And you always hear these, oh yeah, I've got master sets, I've got all these things. Then you get there and it's not master sets and it's all crap condition and everything. And so we agreed on a price and it was just under $7,000. It was like $6,750. But I was going to pay him after the regional, which was at the end of the month, and I would come get it at the end of the month. And so he's like, yep, that's fine. That's great. And I went to bed that night. And this is a long story, by the way. I went to bed that night and I woke up at like 3 a.m. And I remember waking Britt up. Britt's my wife, for anyone who doesn't know. I said, Britt, am I crazy to wait till the end of the month? She's like, well, no, because the money, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, but Britt, what if something happened and I couldn't go get this collection and I had the chance to get the collection? And so anyways, I FOMO'd myself into it. I messaged him at like 7 a.m. I was like, hey, if I have cash today, can you meet today? I drove 16 hours round trip, 8 hours there, 8 hours back, went and picked the thing up. I get there. He pulls it all out of like an attic in these giant tubs, binders, 3-ring binders, of course, like the absolute worst thing you don't want to see because the binders almost surely are going to like binder dent some of the cards. And they had Pikachu Gold Star and Celebi Gold Star had binder dents in them. But other than that, you're thinking, okay, it's in an attic, so it's not climate controlled. It's in 3-ring binders. This is going to be a train wreck. And I've already drove 8 hours. I've got 8 hours back.
There's a person in the attic you're overlooking.
Yeah. Well, and you've already so the story that he told me was that he had 3 first ed sets plus some other stuff years prior, and that he sold it to Troll and Toad. So I'm already thinking, all right, they've picked it. They've picked all this, right? So I dive into this collection. Mint. I mean, dude, pack fresh mint. He had built the whole thing from packs over the years that he had opened, like while he was a professor. So, I mean, when we're talking mint, I ended up grading out of it. Both Crystal Charizards, the reverse and the regular, got 10s. Kyogre Gold Star got a 10. Rayquaza got a 9. Mewtwo got a 10. Crystal Lugia I think it got a 10. It might have got a 9.
All right, we're really sorry, guys. We had to remove the guest due to unbelievably hard flexing on the audience. We're gonna go ahead and bring them back with a warning. Squeaks, everybody.
Okay. No, but hear me out. The story gets worse. But the point is, so I end up getting this, drive back, and I know this is an insane score. I know this is like a once in a lifetime score. So I get it back. I spend the next like few weeks because they're in like these really, like, I'm nostalgic for the story because they're the story, but they're in these like really crappy sleeves that have been in an attic, and like how penny sleeves get when they're like really bad quality. So I spend like a week just literally de-sleeving this collection and re-sleeving it because it takes forever because you're like trying to get these out without damaging them because even then grading's starting to pick up, so that like, oh, this little scratch could just like kill the value of something. And so I'm spending like the week doing that and kind of just assessing what's here, and I rebinder it up. But back then, moving a collection like this was not the easiest to do. I bet I posted master sets, like, or not, Team Rocket Returns master set or Skyridge master set, like up on Burbank. At the time, it was called Hey Fonte Mart. I bet for weeks at market price for like what those were worth, could not get a bite on anything. And like people just did not want them because I was going to break it apart set by set. And then it got to the point where I was going to grade some of the bigger stuff. But the problem was, if you graded the bigger stuff, like reverse hollows from like Skyridge were like $1 or $2 a piece. So all you were going to do is like piece apart all of the like good value, but you couldn't get any of the other value out of it unless you were just going to like buy listed troll and toad. But the problem was, I still had this regional at the end of the month. I still had, the rest of the business that needed money to survive. And we had no guarantee that Pokemon Go was ever going to come. And because at the time they had announced it, we didn't know that was going to be like a global phenomenon, everything that happened. And so to go back to your topic of like missed opportunity, I ended up selling out of that. I don't remember the exact number, but I sold out of like everything in one go except like 50 of the biggest heavies that I ended up grading. Some of those ones I told you, and then I pieced those out over time. And even those I didn't hold, till 2020 COVID when they exploded and everything. I mean, they got sold out across 2017, 18, 19, whatever. But it's a good example of where like that collection, while it still was a really great opportunity for me, made me a ton of money, I was too early. If I would have been in a position, because I knew what I had. I knew how rare something of that caliber and quality was, but I couldn't afford to hold it. And so I think sometimes people are too early that they're not too early in understanding what they have. They're too early in that they've positioned themselves in a way that they can't afford to sit on it until they know what it can do. And that was one of the biggest lessons I ever learned in this, is that this one, I'm not going to get to hit the home run on like I know I should someday. And if I still had that collection today, or even during COVID, that was $1 million collection. Like no questions asked. That whole thing grades. You're getting $1 million out of it, no problem. But he's taking notes. Good. You should be. Yeah. What is that? What does that say?
It's his death note.
Yeah, and then I'm dead. Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, you're crossed out.
I'm crossed out, so I'm saved. Yeah. I don't think that's how it works, actually.
No, you're crossed out because
once your name's in the book, you're actually. Wait, are we allowed to cuss on your channel?
Of course, dude.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure once you're in the book, you're just fucked. Like I'm like 99% sure that's how it works. But I guess it's your book, so you can make it up. But my point is
the demon didn't see your name. We're good.
Yeah. But my point is, sometimes I think you can know that you've got something and still not be in a position to execute it well. Like my correct move in that moment with the information I had was to sell it, because that money ended up being able to do a lot of other things. And I had no guarantee that COVID was going to happen or that Pokemon Go was going to happen. But I think it's one of those things, but I've thought about it a lot. I mean, I probably think about that collection once a month, just like what could have been. Right. And
what do you think that would have been worth at the peak? Just full
like if I could have graded everything, like done if you it the way kept it everything done, $1.5 million probably.
Just like selling in like 2020.
Yeah, like grading it all first, because I mean I would have graded nearly everything reverse hollow from Skyridge and hollow, like all of the E-Series sets. I would have graded all the gold stars, most of the hollow rares. When I say everything was mint, I mean everything. The only things that weren't mint were things that did get hit by the binder rings. So your Celebi Gold Star, Pikachu Gold Star, there were a few H foils that had it, but for the most part, I mean, it was mint. And yeah, if you could have graded everything that would have been $50 and up worth grading and managed to sell it, I wouldn't even say during COVID, because you really couldn't grade stuff during COVID unless you went with CGC, because PSA was just so backlogged. But even if you could have sold it in 2021, 2022, right? Yeah, $1.5 million, almost surely no problem.
Yeah.
So
was that guy, was he technically the original Pokemon professor? Because I see it all the time on Instagram, Pokemon professor.
No. Okay, sorry. I should clarify. Pokemon their judges are called Pokemon professors. So that Pokemon program are Pokemon
so he was part of that.
He was just part of the program. He was a professor. He is not like, that is not like a handle or anything. This guy was like 65 or something.
Okay.
Super nice guy. But he had just been in it for years. I think his kids or grandkids or something were into Pokemon. And so he started judging. And then after they grew out of it, he just kept doing it because it was like a social thing. And he met a lot of, you'll see if you ever like get into Pokemon, there's a lot of adults that are in the professor program now that were in it because of their kids or relatives or something. But now they've just like found community in it. And so they just keep doing it. Hey, look, Mason.
Mason's
But
here,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, you should get Mason here too. But yeah, that's my story. I think your topic there is really good. I really like that topic of like being too early. I think sometimes people just look at it with a really narrow scope though, of like, oh, yep, I bought this thing too early and I had to sell it. And a lot of times it's like Ernie said, I was too early on Yu-Gi-Oh! I had to sell it, whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean you were too early. You actually, what it is it that's like a good pat on the back that you can spot something that far before it happens and recognize that that trend's going to occur, because that's when you're going to get your best percent gains. The problem is you didn't position yourself to be able to hold it to maturity of when you realized the thing was going to come. This is probably my biggest example of this, but dude, this is just part of the game. Like the amount of things I have bought and then I've sold and then I watched it 6 months later do exactly what I thought it was going to do, but I was like convinced it wasn't going to do it anymore. Happens all the time. This is why you generally just set your targets, set your time frames, and then you stick to them. And like, I'm going to buy this thing and it's either going to go down this much or up this much. And that's when I'm going to start selling it off in like chunks. And I'm going to let it do it for this long. And if it hasn't done either of those things in this time frame, I'm also going to start selling it because I just don't think it's going to perform versus other things I can do. And that's kind of how that works. And sometimes you're just going to whiff. And that sucks. But like, I'll give you another example. Mythical collections, the ones from Celebrations. You could not sell those things for $8 after the Celebrate, like that era happened. Or not Celebrations, Generations, sorry. You could not sell those after 2016 for $8. The like Meloetta, Keldeo, Genesect, Victini, like the end of the year ones. There were so many of those. People did not want those. Distributors were trying to unload, had so many. Yeah, these, dude. You could not sell these to save your life. I think going into 2020, early 2020, I had 1,000 of these in the inventory. And they finally went like a little bit, like people were paying like $30 a piece for them, and I dumped all of them. I was like, oh my God, I finally got bailed out of these things. Like, holy cow. Now look at the prices today.
They're
like,
$100.
I got a third of what I could have gotten out of them, right? And but how is I ever gonna know that
Bro,
they're
how
going
do you
to
not
100?
take
I saw a miracle, is what I saw.
Yeah,
I saw
you
that I was
saw-
gonna get to 4x on arguably the worst product I'd ever put money into, and lo and behold, now
How do you
people are
not
willing to
sell?
spend
No, you have
$50
to
a
sell.
pack on.
No, but you have to sell.
Yep, I agree. So
I kind of have a question on that too, because I was thinking about this the other day, like, and I think it was the Mew UPC kind of spurred my thought, or like reminded me of this, because there was another thing that was like reminding me of it too, where I'm really bullish about something. I know something like for sure will go up, but like me personally, I'm focused on my job. I'm focused on all this other stuff. I'm focused on flipping, and I just end up flipping out of the stuff before it does what I think it does, even if I set a timeline. Do you think, like, to help me with that, should I just be writing all these things down? And I feel like that won't work because eventually the list is going to get so long, but maybe I need to prioritize the list in a way to where I can like,
sorry, I'm not understanding what your list is.
my I'm too soon list, I guess. Like I know, like
Oh, like
I'm
all the times
bullish
you
on the,
fucked up?
not that per se. Maybe that would help too, adding the list of
No,
things
that's
that I
sadistic, dude. That's how
predicted.
you put yourself in an institution. Like, no, you don't have to like, oh yeah, dude, these are my war scars and I'm gonna never forget them. And I'm gonna like, I used to have that. I can give you an example of a story with a Darkrai one time that I left on my shelf for years to remind me of how not to make a really stupid mistake again. But it's which was really dumb. Like, no,
Well,
I think the
I think
better thing to
my
do.
question is more of like, how do you track what you're bullish on? And
Yeah.
maybe since you're in a different financial position, you're able to just buy more things and kind of put it aside and forget about it. But I'm struggling with picking my top things that I can afford to put aside that I'm bullish on. Because I always just end up selling it through, like whether it's the felt hat Pikachu, which I'm actually bullish on, even though there's 30,000 PSA 10s, I sell through that stuff so quick that it's like it would be obvious to put a few aside. Like, how do I keep track of that sort of thing, or how do you keep track of all the things that you're bullish on and you have time frames for?
Yeah, so the first thing is keep good records. And like I know this is like, oh, here we go, the record keeping. But like honestly, if you go and you put money into a product because you're like, hey, I think this is gonna do something. When you put that money in, you had to have a parameter of like, I think it's gonna do something by when, or I think it's gonna go to this amount. Write that stuff down. Like keep like the more like the key is you have to keep yourself accountable to it. It's so easy. This is the thing I didn't understand for the longest time that I got wrong in the first 5 years of doing this. It's so easy when an opportunity strikes to sell your best stuff because it's the fastest money you can make liquid, right? If I wanted tomorrow to go out and buy a trophy card, there is nothing faster in my inventory. If I didn't have any cash, I'm sitting on zero. Yeah, than to sell these Mew UPCs. Like I've got a bunch of Mew UPCs. There would be nothing faster than putting those on the market and watching them go, and I'd have my money and I'd be good. But the problem is, you're taking something that you already really believed in, and you think, if you've done like your little check boxes and it meets all the criteria and all that, that you think is going to be really good, and you're just moving it to something else really good. Instead of taking all the random crap that you have lying around that isn't doing anything for you, even if you can't get 100% out of it, you can only get 80% or 70%. Putting 70% into something that's going to double, you're losing 30% here and you're making 100% over here. That's a no-brainer. Versus taking out of something that you still think has room to grow and cutting off that growth and then going and putting it in something else that's going to grow. Because all you're going to do is you're going to just end up moving from one growth thing to the other, and you're going to realize the first 10% and none of the rest of it. And so setting those targets, like, I'm going to buy these and I'm going to start selling them when they hit this dollar amount or this percentage or this whatever thing, and tiering them up and kind of in doing that. And, I'm not big on like, I know a lot of people like to do like buyouts. Like, I'm just going to go buy the whole market and then watch it go up. Those almost never work. And a lot of times they're a waste of time. I'm not saying that that there are not people that are successful with it, but generally the best stuff, the best gains people have are they buy something, they put it on a shelf, and they come back in 5 or 10 years and they sell it. And that is generally what does the best. And that's why a lot of stores long term are the most successful with this, because they can afford to do that, and then they churn all of the other stuff through their duration to make the money to keep putting the stuff on the shelf. If you always sell your shelf stuff for more shelf stuff, you're not really making any ground. You're just making a little bit of gains each time you do it. You're never going to get as far ahead. If you look at the people in COVID that were the biggest life changers, most of those people were long-term collectors that just loved this stuff and had insane collections, that finally the dollar number became too big where they just had to cash out. Like, it was just an absolute no-brainer. This will change my life. I have to sell, right? And it was not the people that were backpack flipping and things like that. Those people made money, but not nearly what the holders did. And look, look at the example. The amount of money I made through COVID on Pokemon's Boom is not as much as I would have made if I just sat on that one collection that didn't work for 5 years in between, when I bought that collection, when I would have sold it during COVID. The problem is, when COVID came, would I have had the money to grade it? No. Would I have had the knowledge I needed to execute that correctly that I gained through all of the transactions I did over the 5 years prior? No. Would I have had the connections to selling it because I had gained those? No. So it's not just like a one-to-one thing, but the point is, like, for your question specifically, set your benchmarks, set your targets, hold yourself accountable to them, and then and write them down. Like, remind yourself, like, keep your list of like why you like this thing, and keep reminding yourself of like that, especially when you buy other things. Like, something I'd buy anything if I thought it was a good deal. I've really tuned a lot of that out now. there's things I will buy because I just know it's part of the store, and like that's just part of the store's process is to churn inventory. But there's a lot of things now I just pass on, even if it feels like a good deal, because it will inevitably bar me from doing one of the ones I think is just a home run when it comes along. And so being more selective it is another big one. But yeah, it's tough, man. Like it is really tough to like stick to it. Like once you have this stuff and you get that first gain, it's hard not to sell it, right? Because it's like, wow, I made money, I did it. Like that's the thing.
Squeaks, since we have you here, I'd like to ask you actually a few questions. Real quick,
Oh.
just to chime in on that. I think it's super true what you said, because like sometimes if you see another opportunity, like that Grail card, that super liquid uncut sheet, that super sauce, there's a thirsty dude in your DMs ready to PayPal you like, real hard, and it's like hard. And then you're thinking, you're like, oh God, do I want to sell 1,000 heavy played Watsy hollows right now and send out 1,000 labels? Or do I want to just stop collecting this super high performing thing that I just like, I'm just kind of caught with my pants down here with this Grail, and like that's a super, super good point. All right, I wanted to ask you about something a little bit left field, but I want to get your opinion on this because you're fucking Squeaks. Squeaks, what's your thoughts on the uncut sheets that have come out with the snap cards? And have you seen stuff like that before, or is this new to you as well? Or is this stuff that you had seen like years ago, and like maybe it's new to me and Jay because we just got here?
Oh, this is definitely new to everyone. Like,
Okay.
listen, what you guys are seeing on Earth, like, you know how you guys always make jokes about like the legends of the hobby. People tell the stories of back in the day when Rusty brought the FPO cards onto Facebook, and Rusty brought the the growl, all the magic back like Growlithe and Weedle and those up, and back then they were only like a few $100 and blah blah blah. And like we tell those stories like they're like this nostalgic lore. This is one of those moments. In 10 years from now, this will be nostalgic lore. Do you remember when everyone was like talking about how the snap sheets were getting dumped? Like the stuff's not been seen before. It was not known to be out there by almost anybody, and you are seeing it come out of. From my understanding, it's most of it, if not all of it, is coming from one source, but
Right, the
in
personal
droves. Yeah,
collection from Akabani. So okay, I know
yeah,
I'm all over the place, but what are your
sure.
thoughts on that? Because Jake and I had an off stream discussion about like just kind of the reality, which is these big collectors, right? These presidents and these CEOs, they're getting older, and you get to a point where you're mid 60s, maybe early 70s, when you start to look at the uncut sheet and you say, wow, that's $250,000 right there. That's quality of life for my last 10 years or my last 15 years. That's and those people also, and again, I'm just kind of spitballing and I want you to correct me, but like, I don't, is Akabani still with Pokemon, or
I don't know a lot about the person or their history. My understanding is that they were with Media Factory, which is who did a lot of the original Japanese printing and things like that. And that could also be inaccurate. So like, don't take anything I say as fact.
he could have gotten fired, or not fired. He could have been let go or whatever in 2002, for all I know, when they got bought out, right, by Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't
I have
know
no
his
idea.
history, but I know that it's I don't think anyone's doubting the validity that these things are authentic. I think it's more kind of falls into a similar vein as that Protostoice that came up, and now we've seen multiple. We've seen the sheet. We've seen these things. I mean, okay, to be fair, the Protostoice, there was massive controversy of is it real? Tons of people thought it was fake, blah, blah, blah. You could go ask any Magic person. I remember I asked Jim Brusso about it. He said there's no doubt it's real. And Jim Brusso's like the god of Magic for understanding that stuff. So eventually got to the point, nobody questioned whether it was real. They more questioned the story around it. Why is it real? Why does it exist? Why is it here? Why was it made? Why did they print it? How'd they get here? Blah, blah, blah. I think that is the biggest problem with a lot of this stuff. Why are there these cards on the sheets? Why does this person have them? Were they test prints? Was this something that they just made in the factory themselves?
Like for
These
fun, yeah.
prototype cards, all these prototypes, like playtest cards, it's mind-boggling to me that playtest cards are in this immaculate of condition. I mean, if you look at a lot of the playtest cards from like early Magic that Richard Garfield then played with, Tavis has an absolutely insane collection with these that he just did a like kind of an expose on with Rudy of his collection. You can see a lot of those have been through the ringer, writing on them, things like that. And I know some of the Pokemon ones have a little bit of writing on it, but for the most part, I mean, these things are hitting like CGC pristine 10s and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a little. Yeah, yo, dude, facts.
There's so, but it's possible that they're just extras that were in a box, things like that. And I don't know what's the problem for me. Anytime you get to stuff like this, is I don't really doubt the authenticity of these things' existence. It's more around, were they extras? Were they like, you gotta remember a lot of this stuff can still, even back in the late 90s, it could have been done digitally. Like there could just be files that you could just print more of them.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying that's the case here. I don't know. That's also why I haven't paid nearly as much attention. Like I followed it from like a historical aspect of like, this is interesting. This is one of those moments in time you want to be a part of, you want to remember. Have no interest in touching them because I generally don't touch things I don't understand. And there's so many things that I don't understand. Protostoice was another one. I was actually the one that finally found the person with the sheet and revealed that like to the public once I got the guy to like give me authorization of like making it public that he had a sheet for it. And I had an offer to buy a Protostoice before that. The guy wanted like $3,500. And I just didn't feel comfortable because I didn't know enough about it. And
thought it might be fake?
You thought it might be fake, wasn't sure of the story. There was a lot of blah, blah, blah around it. And once I found the sheet, I didn't feel it was the right thing to do to go buy the Protostoice knowing what I knew and then revealing that information. Like that would have been a really scummy thing to do, to like, oh yeah, I went to uncover this. A lot of people are gonna be like, nah, dude, you missed the bag. You should have just bought the card, then reveal everything you knew about it. Like for me, that just like wasn't how it worked. So I went and I told the guy like, hey, by the way, I found a guy that has a sheet with one of these on it. I think your card's real, like undeniably real, because everything it's on the sheet with is undeniably real. And at that point, then, we know what happened. They went to Heritage. They exploded $300,000.
You won't touch it. But I guess my question came more from, I wanted to get more of like a human perspective from you as far as like, when is it time to sell your stuff? Because I feel like at some point you're gonna have to think about these things too, like not just the Mew UPCs, but like actually things that matter to you, that things that you really like, And like when I think about Akabani selling those uncut sheets, like they probably meant something to him, right? They're probably special to him if he's mid 60s and still was hanging on to them maybe 10, 15 years after. Again, I don't know the story. I'm a dust boy, I'm a moth, but I guess my question was more from the human side, like when is it time?
When do you let go?
Yeah, when do you let go? And you were talking about like having a sell point, right? But I guess I'm thinking more about like personal items or like PC items or cards that have like a memory or whatever. Like when do you, because bro, if you're 65, $250,000 sounds real nice.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because a lot of that's going to come down to, do you need the money? Do you want to leave it to your kids? Do your kids care about it? Like a lot of people that have really high-end collections and stuff, one of their determining factors on if they'll sell it or not is, if I pass it to my kids, are they going to care about it? And if they don't care about it, are they going to know how to get out of it? And if the answer is no, I'd rather just get out of it for them and pass them the money through inheritance, right? That way they're not getting 30 cents on the dollar or whatever that they should be getting because they don't know and they don't care and they just put it in an auction or something. And so for some people, that's a determining factor. For other people, there are people that will take their collectibles to their grave because the money is not the intrinsic motivator of why they're here. It's like, and Charlie would be a great person to sometime have on here and talk to about like what collecting means to a person. He has a really, really fascinating viewpoint on this, and it's really interesting to hear about. But like, there are many people out there that they derive self-worth out of collecting, and it's not about like, I have the biggest collection. For some people it is, but for a lot of them it's more the journey of it, the chasing of a thing, feeling like they have a purpose, a motivator, do like the discovery. Like for me, Protostoice is such an important, awesome card because I was part of the history of it, even though I've never owned one and will probably never own one. because I got to be a part of the history. That journey for me was a lot of fun. I feel like I got to like discover something in the hobby, you know. And so for a lot of people, that's what collecting is to them. It's a
That's what it
journey, it's a
is. I
discovery.
think
Yeah,
that's what it is. I think that's why I like LOL. It's a meme now, but that's why I like Elatis too, because I found them in a way. Like it's like I didn't know about it. I kind
sure.
of came across it and I was like, what? Like, is this? I was like confused. I was like, dude, this is, it's like you get excited about something that then you start looking into it. And then it's like you get attached to the time you spent with it also in a
Yeah,
way, you know?
yeah. Well, and
So
I think that bringing it back to like your point about these sheets and these cards, I think that's where a lot of people are frustrated right now, is that a
mhm,
lot of the information around them, a lot of that discovery, a lot of that interesting journey is really muddy. It's we're not really sure what is true, what is not. There's so much of this stuff hitting the market in such a short time span that it's almost like there's no tact, there's no appreciation, there's
right,
no
right.
whatever. It's just dumping it right in.
Hmm.
Like there's no, here's the story about these playtest cards and the journey they went through and blah blah. Just here's some prototypes, we're dumping them on the market. Let's see what happens, right? And everything around the conversation of what arguably are some of the most historical artifacts of Pokemon collectibles has no focus
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
historical aspect at
Right,
all, and it's
right, right.
all money. And that alone really
Yep.
then dampens the journey for the collectors, and I think kind of makes them feel jaded towards them, which is generally not what you want. Even if you're the seller, you don't want people feeling that way. In fact, you want them to be emotionally connected to that journey and feel like they're along for the ride with you, because that is what will get you your premiums. And so, especially as they've released more and more of these now,
Wait,
we
wait, hold on.
okay,
Don't skip past that real quick because
okay, okay.
I agree. I think like part of the appeal of the illustrator, right, is the release. Part of the appeal of the Masaki is the release and the lore. And there's not enough lore. Like I guess that's part of the reason I'm not into modern is maybe that there's not like it doesn't feel like there's any like lore to it. There's no rarity to it. There's no like
Because
you know what I
you're learning it, like you're living the lore right now. Think about Moonbryon. Moonbryon's lore has been built since
Palkia.
the
Palkia. Okay, go ahead.
nah, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Okay.
Moonbryon's lore has been built since the day it came out. There's going to be a point in 10 years where people talk about, do you remember the pandemonium around Moonbryon? The same way we talk about, do you remember the day the Gold Star binders leaked out? Like, have you guys heard this story
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
NPC? The crazy binders, that there were just thousands of
Like
them.
it was mind blown. It was like one of the hobby
Yes, and
mind yeah.
Moonbryon literally captured a generation of Pokemon fans. The amount of nostalgia that's going to exist around that card for kids today when they're 30, like how we have nostalgia about gold stars and crystals and shinings and the base set cards and things like that, it's going to be absurd. Like, now, does that mean Moonbryon's going to be valuable? No, I don't know that anyone knows that. But there's definitely going to be people that when they are 30 and they're like,
They're
man, I
gonna
remember
want
when
it.
I was really into Pokemon, Moonbryon's the card they're going
It's
to
the
go look up.
first one,
It's
yeah.
not going to be first base Charizard or Snap Bulbasaur or any of that. It's going to be Moonbryon. So
I don't
you're
know.
living the
Classics
history and
never
the
die.
lore as it's being built. And that's why modern's tough. That's why people don't see the modern vision, because you're right. The lore is not built. You're part of the lore being built.
And I guess going back to the original thing about the lore and these alpha, beta, I mean, it's all the way through delta cards now mounted on cardboard, whatever. I was kind of turned off by it because the way I was being introduced to the lore was through heritage, through whatever was being like, why didn't we get to see these cards be explained or shown off in a way that made people appreciate it and learn about it? Why did we have to learn about it when the auction goes live? Like that was odd to me. I feel like I don't really see that happen very much in the space. Like usually there's a collector that owns it, that really loves it and will try to promote it. This one, it's like if it all came from the same spot, Akanabe, and whoever bought them from him are dumping them, or maybe he's just trying to auction them. It's just kind of throws me off of like, what is the story? Like, is he? Because it's fine to me if he's just auctioning them, like that
Well,
makes sense. He owns
and
them, but if someone else bought them from him and then they're immediately dumping them, it just shows like that a lot more questions arise, you know, like
Well, I think that's the problem, right? Is that people they don't have these answers. They don't know why do all of these exist? What are the differences between the alpha, beta? Like, who was playtesting these? Where did they come from? How many of them are there? Are there more? Why did they mount them to cards instead of just leaving them in front of other cards like the Magic prototypes were done with, right? Like there's a ton of information that's left out that nobody has. And so not only does that make people skeptical because we've never seen any of this stuff for the whole duration of the history of the hobby, and now all of a sudden not only have we seen it, but we've seen 4 versions of it plus all these crazy things. And like, sure, I'm sure a lot of these higher profile people in these companies have stuff like that we've never seen before, but to see this amount of it dumped with no background context, where
Yeah, bro.
it's
Right.
the internet. What's going to happen if you leave
Right.
people to speculate and write your story for you? What do you think they're going to write? They're going to write the most, like, we live in a society where we're
Spicy.
skeptical about everything. So of course they're not going to be like, oh yeah, those are real. That's legit. This is a great story. Let's buy in. Like, of course they're not going to. So yeah, I think they definitely did a disservice to themselves, but to the hobby as a whole. Like, these should be unbelievable historical artifacts that we're getting to learn the journey of right now in a really cool way. And unfortunately, the chase of money with them, we're not getting to.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully someday we will get that information, that somebody will come out and be able to validate some of these things and provide that information. And assuming that information comes from a credible source, then the value of these things could go up. If they always kind of stay more murky like they are now, that would be really unfortunate for the hobby, I think. So
it's crazy how, like, if you really think about it, there's so many things that could exist that we don't know about. I think that's where my mind goes. It's like, okay, we saw this thing. What have we not seen, bro? Like, sky's the limit. Like, bro, if I was in charge of the factory and I had the last key to lock up, and I'm Kensugi Mori, and I'm like, all right, yeah, bro, I'm gonna mop the floor. Everybody left. I'm walking out of there with 15 uncut sheeties, Big Derek. It's mine. It's not even theft. It's my company. Especially if there's like misprint sheets that look cool where the hollow was fucked and shit. Like, that's still cool to them. It's their baby, right? It's their machine, their brand. So I'm just excited, I guess, to see what's gonna happen, or like what's gonna come out. But I think it is a shame that we don't have Ken Golden like just explaining every new release, you know. Like, that'd be so sick if Ken was pumping the uncut sheets. He'd be like, there's only one, folks. There's only one in the world. Bill Gates can't own it. Like, you know, it'll be great. But
I mean, we're back.
Yeah.
All right,
but no.
But
we lost him.
What? Is there a correlation between Pillar and bad internet?
It's possible. There he is.
Right,
no, I went to get a drink, so of course I killed my internet. No, I think that's totally valid though. Again, when you don't release any of the lore of the history, that's going to invite the questions. How many more of these? Why do they exist in the first place? Because if the answer that's not good, oh, I just made them. Well, how many more did you make? How many more of them are there? Right? And so, like, when it comes to things like this, a lot of your buyer pool, the interest is in the exclusivity, right? If you know, that's why the snap cards have always been so interesting to people, is there's so few of them. You know, that's the Art Academy took a major hit when the extra copies hit the market, that there were copies of Art Academy cards that were starting to be sold from artists that we as a community knew never sold any of their copies, right? Because now it's, okay, so there isn't 100 of each. There's 100 plus however many extra copies that there were out there,
that
right?
They sold, yeah.
And this is why you shouldn't get married to how many there are. Like, so, like, I collect high-end video game consoles. And a lot of these are like lottery consoles, things like that, where people get very married to the numbers. There's only 5 of these. There's only 10 of these. However many you think there are of anything, there's almost surely more than that. Almost always. Like, if you think there's one of the ones.
There's one release where there's only 5,000 printed. Carry on.
Okay. Yeah. Until
5,000. Yep.
Yeah, 5,000 with an asterisk. No, but like there was a Sonic console. I don't know if you guys ever saw it with the fuzzy controllers that was like released, and it was only supposed to be like 4 of them, and then it was 10. Now it's like probably 25. Like
Xbox?
and now we found out Jim Carrey got one because he did the movie, and then they gave him to some of the other actors on the movie. But like those weren't part of the lottery. But like you have to fall in love with the item, the lore, the history around it, not the number itself. If you fall in love with the number of how many there are, you're almost surely going to be disappointed later down the line. Almost surely.
So
Unless
you're
it's
saying you have to,
5,000.
unless it's a specific release in 2002. So what you're telling me is that you own the fuzzy controller Sonic. Basically, long way around the block to flex on me and Jake Smith.
Yeah, that was actually the whole reason I had you bring this topic up 30 minutes ago, was so that I could get us to the point of saying I have the fuzzy Sonic.
Can we just enjoy this moment? Jake Smith, can you even imagine playing this console, dude, with the fuzziness in your hands?
Who would play it? Bro, you're going to get sweat all over the fuzz. You're not going to be able to clean it off, dude. You're going to root. No. You don't play it, you display it. That's
Mortal Kombat.
That's the video game motto, dude. You don't play it, you display it. Okay? We put all our shit in plastic. We don't play anything. We are the true elite hobbyists. Okay?
Yeah. We're gonna have some Dan's barbecue. We're gonna pull out,
Tell me another like S tier console. And you don't have to say you own it. You can say you don't own it. But tell me something cool.
Any console?
Yeah, like something like Sauce. What's
there's a website, consolevariations.com. You want to see Sauce? Go there, pick a console, search highest rarity to lowest, dude. You will get lost in that website.
No, but I want you to tell me something that's Sauce to you.
To me, like a Grail.
Yes. What comes up to your mind first that you don't own, that you may not own, maybe you will
if
own?
If you want to pull it up, you'd still have to go to that website.
Okay.
But there's a GameCube it was done as a competition in the UK in a magazine back in the day, where they did, because back then there's the place that does like all these custom consoles and stuff is called Colorware, and they get contracted by all these companies. But this didn't exist back then. So a lot of custom consoles from back then were like hand painted and things like that. And there's a GameCube that has Metroid hand painted on it that was part of this contest that I would love to get one. So if you search GameCube, and then you have to I'll walk you through it. Scroll up. You have to search it is rarity score, and you want it to be the high way. So whichever, like, they should all be like 99 or 100. So you want to go scroll down. Yeah, here you go. Yeah. So now you just need to find the one with Samus on it. Yep, just keep scrolling. It shouldn't be very far.
Juice.
But yeah, there's a Samus.
It's not even on the first page. That makes me,
because they're all like all of these are still 100s. So.
Oh, I see. These are all out of 100.
Yeah, right there. Here. Yep. Shit. Yeah, dude. The only person I've ever seen know where this is at is the guy that did a YouTube video on this. And I reached out to the YouTube, like left a comment, reached out to the guy's IG. I've never gotten a reply.
So basically, if I'm understanding correctly, this is the juice.
This is Grail for me. Like this I would love to get this.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so hypothetically, let's say I find a regular GameCube and I paint a little not so good Samus on it. What kind of a premium can I get from a regular old beat up Japanese GameCube from Merc?
Nothing. What kind of question is that?
Dang it.
No. All right.
So
well,
close.
Since we have Squeaks here, Squeaks, we're going to take her on down to a little bit of hobby dust. All right. We're going to talk about a little something called Nishida. All right. We just want to get your thoughts on this, Squeaks. Squeaks.
Oh,
Nishida had 2 art styles. Can you, out of these 4 cards, recognize the 2 different art styles?
Well, I would venture to guess that it's Espeon and Dragonite for one, and Entei and Xatu for the other, just because of the era that they were released in. So
That's incorrect. Jake Smith, your turn.
My turn. I think it's the Dragonite and the Dark Espy, and then the Zatu and Entei.
That's literally what Squeaks just said. That's incorrect. It's a trick question. They're all the same art style. Because Nishida's second art style is this, folks. It's this. It's this right here. As you can see, there's clear black outlines. It gives you real Sugi.
bro, is this when I yell Palkia, Palkia? Holy fucking yawn, dude.
All right,
Are you kidding me, dude? You have interesting topics for an hour, and now we're going to talk about Drop Shadow on fucking art in front of stock background?
Dude.
Oh,
whoa.
Cow,
People are here for the dust.
Bro, this is the main reason we went live.
To talk about Drop Shadows? Oh boy, do I have a program for you. Let me tell you about Photoshop and InDesign. Holy cow.
All right, Squeaks, what's your take on swirls? Let's get to the shit that matters.
Dude, yawn. I gotta clean this room before I gotta talk about fucking swirls.
All right, we got a serious last question. Last good question for Squeaks. Okay. And then we're done. Squeaks, what is the best Pokemon game in your opinion? Top three.
I feel like I'm about to start a sentence and he just wants to Palkia yawn me immediately. Like that is the goal of the thing. Yeah.
No. I'm not resentful, dude. It's cool. You're right. I should have my head examined talking about art, Pokemon art. That's
okay. No, you're not talking about Pokemon art. First of all, you're making up trick questions. And then second of all, you're like, ooh, in the shadows, he did a 1/4 inch shadow here, and that's when his art style changed, which isn't even art style, by the way. Come on. No. Best Pokemon game.
You can do top 3. It's a hard question. You can do top 3. Top 3 is good.
I like Soul Silver a lot.
Yeah, that's a girl.
Pokemon Puzzle League.
What?
Pokemon Puzzle League. N64. Come on.
That's the chat. Hold on, I gotta pull this up. I've legit never seen this.
Holy cow, dude.
Hold on, this is what the pod is about. Getting to know the guest. Okay. So it's like, what is the point of the game? Explain to me the game.
You're supposed to match up the color blocks, but you're battling against someone else, and you can like send trash to each other's side, kind of like Tetris, where you can like send the layers, and you're trying to get them to hit the top before you hit the top. So you make like battle combos and stuff.
It's like battle Tetris.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah, this game slap.
I'll play you a battle Tetris, Smith. That'll be fun. Okay, that's cool. And the other one was Soul Silver.
Soul Silver, third top Pokemon game. I don't know, dude. I really liked Scarlet and Violet. I also really like Sword and Shield. Like, I like the more open world concept that they're doing. I mean, I have nostalgia for Red and Blue OGs, but I don't know. I would probably say, God, Pokemon Snap's up there too as a kid, though. Yeah, I don't know. I want to leave my third one open. I want to think about it.
Did you ever play any of the Nuzlocke, like the ROM hacks that had like different?
I had friends that did. I used to watch a lot of friends back when I streamed on Twitch. I would watch people stream them, but I never really have played them myself. I think I did one time. I played like a black and white Nuzlocke, and I got a Latios to start and was like, wow, this is busted. So I just like never finished it. But you probably should set parameters like not starting with legendaries and things like that. But I had never done one, so I didn't know what I was doing. But no, it's not like something I do, but I like watching them. I actually like watching Pokemon speed runs more than I like watching Nuzlocke, though. Like seeing how they break the game and stuff is really, really fun to me.
Same, dude. I really like watching that stuff. There was a speed run that I saw on Games Done Quick, and it was this dude running. I don't even remember what Pokemon game it was, but it was so funny, and he had like everyone there laughing at like all the different, like he would troll the audience. Squeaks, he'd be like, "Oh no, like we messed up the trick," and then he did it, and like
and then he does the trick. Like, yeah, dude, that kind of stuff. I know Keyzeron is really big into Pokemon speedruns and has done a lot of them. My favorite ones always are going to be Red and Blue, because it's just so crazy what is in a speedrun for Red and Blue. Like the tricks of like how I know there's the thing with the tunnel and the guy with the water and things like that, but it's just like how they can finish the game in like 9 minutes. And I don't know if you've ever seen how you can get a Mew in the game by like talking to the right guy on the right frame and like doing a thing, and like that kind of stuff to me is just so cool. That like they've been able to dissect out the game to that level. Well beyond me, but it's fun to watch. I've always thought they're super entertaining speedruns, especially if you go into it and you have no clue what to expect. And then 9 minutes later, the game's beat and you're seeing the like Elite Four champion screen or whatever. Super cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like when they glitch the game, but I also like seeing the optimal strategy to beat the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like glitchless. When they don't use glitches, they just, how do you beat it without any glitches kind of thing.
Yeah, like I was really impressed with what they did with, I think it was Red and Blue, where they just picked the Needle King and they just kind of bulldoze everyone with the Needle King and the drugs, and I was like, that's kind of
The
sick.
drugs?
Like,
What Pokemon game was this? The drugs?
remember that they like give them, come on, man, they give them like what is it called? Like the HP boost and the attack boost, and it's like, what's it called? You can take them in battle. You could the X attack, and remember all that?
Yeah,
the X special?
I don't know that those are called drugs, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
They're called
Jake Smith?
boosters.
Jake Smith never even played a Pokemon game, chat. Let's ridicule him, please.
Jake Smith, have
Yeah.
you really never played a Pokemon game?
Yep, let's roast the kid that couldn't afford games as a child.
Oh, okay. Let's also roast the kid that buys thousands of dollars of cards now and could go buy a Pokemon game and play it, and that's a crap excuse.
No, yeah,
Jeez,
I think you can literally download any Pokemon game for free on your
Whoa!
computer.
Now you're bootlegging and you're admitting to it, felony. We're calling him.
I have a budget, all right? I got a budget.
Yeah, so you're gonna have a commissary budget. You keep pirating games like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which one should I play first? Am I just diving straight into Soul Silver? People are telling me to play Emerald first. So
no, you can't start at the top, dude. You gotta start. You just gotta start at like Red or Blue. Yeah, if you start at Emerald, then all of the sprite games are gonna feel downhill from there. Like Emerald and Crystal are definitely on their own tier.
Bro, you gotta play Pokemon Blue. Let's go.
Why Blue? Okay. Why Blue, not Red?
Why Red, not Blue? I don't know, Squeaks. Because Blue.
Okay, you just asked the same question I did in reverse. Nice.
Blue is the one that I had as a little baby, and I remember being in my complex pool as a young boy, fresh out of Cuba, just playing with my little Squirtle. Water gun. I ran out of water gun. Reset. And just the joy that gave me. And you're so right, because when the next gen came out, Jake Smith, it was like, whoa. It was like
There's more Pokemon. You get to go to 8 more gyms after you win.
No, but everything. It was like the sprites would shake and go, and you're like, yo, what? Like it went from like black and white to color, and right in front of our eyes. And dude, doggy, when Emerald came out, Squeaks, let them know.
Hey, Emerald was big. Crystal was big. But I have a fun fact for you about going from Red and Blue to Gold and Silver. Did you know that they almost couldn't release Gold and Silver because they couldn't figure out how to get all of the memory to fit on there? I'm trying to remember if it was Iwata or Miyamoto were the ones that like figured out how to like essentially compartmentalize the files down into a way that they could actually like put everything onto the cards, because the game was going to be too big.
Because the game's too big. Well, no spoilers, because Jake Smith might play it, but it's a big game. A lot of things to do.
there's many activities. So
a lot of activities, maybe double. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Great. Well, all right, Jake Smith, what would you buy if you had $6,000 to frivolously spend in the hobby? Go ahead. $6K. What are you buying?
Why $6K?
I don't know, just arbitrary number. You can't flip.
You
have to hold.
It's arbitrary.
You have to. Oh, by the way, guys, chat, tweet, just so you know, I found out Jake Smith only thinks things are undervalued if they're worth around 700. So, Squeaks.
That's incorrect, but
Squeaks, please don't show me that again. Every time I even think of that, I want to jump.
Yeah, no, you just buy the Mew, dude. Buy the Mew.
Oh, but we can't sell it.
You can't sell it. 6K right now.
We don't sell stuff. We only buy stuff, dude.
Oh
True
yeah.
hobbyist.
He's such a capper.
Okay.
Chad, this is your
So
honor. This is what a capper looks like. He doesn't sell. I make no sales. All right.
probably 1,000 of those Mews that Squeaks just showed.
Oh, whoa! Where are you getting 1,000 of those at $6 pop, big dog?
Or have they gone down?
No, they're like 6 to 7. It's just like, where are you gonna find 1,000 of them?
Right.
Oh, here and there. Maybe reach out to a guy named Squeaks. I don't know.
You know
Ooh,
what?
ripping 6K worth of packs in Pokemon Pocket. Now that sounds like a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jake Smith, since we have Squeaks here, this is like when you ran into the shiny in the game. We had to take advantage of this.
Shut up, you're so
And so
stupid. I
I'd
hate
like
you
to
so
I'd like
much.
to just reminisce with you some of the great things
Squeaks
that
uses
Squeaks taught.
Flea. Leave.
This is what's okay, he left. Oh, this is what Squeaks taught me, chat. Squeaks told me
Oh, here we go.
that if a card is worth $3 or less, he will buy 1,000 of them.
That is so not true. You're
Great
so
man.
stupid, dude.
Great
You
man,
just
great man.
guys, if you ever believe anything Ernie said, if your default on this stream is that what Ernie says is true, you need to re-examine your life. That is
I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
correct. Yeah,
Damn
see,
it.
everyone has it backwards. If you default that what Ernie says is crap, you're more likely to land on the correct side of history.
I know what
Listen.
Ernie's buying for 6K.
3
And then he
Elotties.
has Elotties fit in it.
Yeah. Yawn, Palkia, get
Yawn,
me out.
guys, I'm so off
The
Elottie.
moth
Like,
hit the lamp. I repeat, the second moth has hit the lamp.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, damn, that's a good question. Squeak. So this brings me to my next question. Do you relate more as a moth or as a lamp in the world?
Bro,
I want you to think about it.
I still don't get the whole meme. I get that moths are attracted to lamps. I understand this. I don't understand how one chooses to be one or the other.
Okay.
And the day that I told you my answer because I didn't understand, you all clowned on me.
Okay, here's the
Whoa,
thing.
I didn't. I would
Hobbyist,
never.
dust. Moth,
Okay.
dust. Hobbyist, dust. Moth, dusted. Dust, moth. Hobbyist, dust. Also, light. Cell phone, light. Moth, light. Hobbyist, light. Hobbyists look at light, which is their phone, to get the dust, which is the moth with the light. Thank you.
I don't think it could have been put any more clearly. If you don't understand at this point.
Yeah, I'm in, dude. Sign me up.
Yeah.
It's better not to explain your tricks, you know. But
yeah.
What are your Squeaks? What are your honest, legit thoughts on Mason?
Yep, go ahead.
What day is it?
3 honest thoughts.
3 honest thoughts.
I want you to tell me one good thing about Mason that comes to mind. One good thing about the homie, Cardi, and all at the mall gaming, please.
And 5 bad things.
Okay, yeah, that list is easier. No, Mason is incredibly loyal. He's a loyal person. When he's in your corner, you know you can rely on him.
Wish I could zoom in, dude. My turn. Mason.
Yawn. All right, Mason.
Let me come back around. Jake Smith, you go.
Mason, are we doing the one good thing or the 10 bad?
The 7 bad things.
7 bad things.
You could make a movie out of this. 7 things we hate about Mason.
Well, I think he could own more stores. So bad thing, only owning 2 stores.
Yeah.
Number 2, has way too many cards. He told me he has 20,000 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He doesn't know what they are, and that hurt. So that's my second one.
I felt that one, dude.
He might have said 50,000. I don't know, 20,000 or 50,000. Either way, it hurts really bad. What else? Good thing though, I do like that Mason makes me laugh. I get his humor. And I appreciate that.
See, okay, I would have put that as a bad thing. Not that he makes me laugh, but generally, 1, I am the humor that he's making the joke out of. But 2, his sarcasm I tend to not understand frequently, which then makes everyone laugh harder at me. So that is my negative for Mason.
Yeah, he's like your counter. Like
yeah, Well, kind of everyone is, but yeah, that would
like
be.
Squeaks. You play Squeaks on the field, big ass monster, and then you just flip over Mason and just counter Squeaks.
Because
And
my default is to like once I get to know somebody well enough, I can usually pick up on it. But my default is to like believe what they say. So sarcasm kind of like whooshes pretty hard on me. And Mason's is like you never know. And I do know Mason well, and it's still to the point that some days I'm not sure. And then he'll be like, "Dude, I'm being serious," and then I'll like autocorrect and be like, "Oh shit, my bad, dude." And then he's like, "No, I'm just kidding again." And then it just like that.
Yeah,
really
yeah. He's hard to read. Yeah, but also he's a pretty good sport about jokes and stuff, which is always great appreciated.
That is
Okay,
good.
Squeaks.
Yeah.
In another
we can give
life,
him half a point.
in another life, you used to stream video games. Now, I didn't know this. I didn't know that you used to be on Twitch and stuff and like do your thing, and you probably had all the latest gadgets. My question to you, bro, when are we getting the Squeaks video game return tour?
Yep.
What would you play today? And also, would you let us call in and talk shit about Mason?
Dude, so to clarify, the stream tour, this is back when I was on YouTube. I actually streamed on Twitch for almost 2 years. Where I did half PTCGO, half Variety, and after that, and I really enjoyed it. But this was more just like when I didn't want to make Pokemon content but still needed a video on the channel. I was like, damn, dude, Returnal is sucking my life away. I'm going to stream this. We only had like 10 people that would hang out. Nar used to be the one that would hang out and watch me play this. But would I still stream games? Absolutely. I just don't have as much time to, like, even right now, I really should not be here. I should be cleaning this room, but I wanted to hang out with the homies on a Friday night. But if I streamed a game, the game I have liked lately, I've only gotten to play it for like 3 hours.
Wait, real quick, not to stop you there. Sorry, but as you can see, the man is chugging straight from the 2-liter, chat. Can we?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. This was before I quit soda, dude. Look, hey, there was quality content here.
No, you need it. You need it. This is peak streaming. This is a compliment.
Dude, this is stream life, grind life, dude. We were deep into a run. If that 2-liter wasn't done by the end of this run, dude, I don't know.
And by the way, I just have to say, dude, thank you for putting me onto this game. This is a good game. This game, chat, if you don't know about it, it's called Returnal, and it's like $30 on Steam. Highly recommend. Don't call me if you cry. Don't call me. Don't call me if a tear comes down your face when you beat the first biome. They're not even ready, Squeaks. But
And I had to convince Ernie for weeks to play this game. Kept telling me how dusted I was. I don't know, blah, blah. And now he is a Returnal religious. Okay. So, yeah.
I think I'm coming to terms with the fact that I'm somewhat stubborn. So I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Even after all of that,
he
still won't believe that One Piece is good.
Like, dude, crazy to me. Dude, no. Get this. The amount of times I've told Ernie something, he's like, nah, dude, nah. And then like 6 months later, it's like, bro, you're not going to believe this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And Jake Smith and I finally got Jake Smith to watch One Piece. Live action came out. He's like, okay, it's good. I'm going to binge it. I'll believe these Dust Boys. Guy binges it. He's completely caught up, minus not reading the manga. Loser won't read and catch up. And we've tried to tell Ernie, just do it. Greatest piece of media of all time. What does Ernie go and do? Watches every highlight clip, spoils the whole story on YouTube in one night, has no semblance of what happened. Dude, no.
Look, he's doing it again. It's repeating over and over again. The cycle repeats itself.
All right.
Dude,
first of all,
just like Returnal, the cycle repeats itself. Ernie's life cycle repeats itself. Yep.
Here's the thing. I'm going to defend myself, guys. You can see I'm clearly outnumbered here by a Joker and his little Joker sidekick. Here's the thing, chat. I love One Piece. I agree with Squeaks. That's one of the greatest pieces of not only writing, but score, animation, colors, storytelling. I'm giving
for all 6 minutes that I've watched, it was the greatest I've ever seen.
I'm giving it to you, but do I need to spend 30,000 minutes on it?
Yes.
No.
Do we want to get into a list of what Ernie does spend 30,000 minutes on? That could be better repurposed into.
And our guest is having some technical difficulties.
Good night.
ordering
Okay.
light cheese, playing Returnal,
All right.
making coffee. What else?
Oh yeah, I need some coffee. Be right back. No, but
Looking
you
at
got.
posters on Buyee.
Wait.
Mhm.
Speaking of posters, guys, this is my new segment? I'm trying it out. It's called "Is This a Safe Space?" Can I
Takia.
can I tell you guys
Am I doing it
something?
right?
No, no. Yes, yes.
Well,
Guys,
pick one. Is it yes or no?
yes, you are. I spent 250 on posters.
Bro, I wish I had a soundboard right now because, dude, I've got the best one mentally queued up.
Was
What
it?
is it? What is it?
Wow.
It's the Death Mario. Yeah, dude, 100%.
How did I spend 250? It was $11 here, $15 here. I lost track. I didn't spreadsheet. I under spreadsheet. And next thing you know, I spent like 260 on posters. I don't even have enough walls for that.
Dude, you could have had an uncut sheet for that.
You're gonna have to spend $250K on top of that 250 just to get more wall space, dude.
Dude, you literally could have had an uncut sheet for that, dude.
Pick me now. You know what, Squeaks? I'm gonna DM you about that because I think I hate money and I love uncut sheets. Chat.
Wait, hold on. I might have it near me. Do you want to see it?
Let's sell it to me live, baby. I'm buying it live.
Yeah, hold on.
We're buying it
We're
live.
wailing live because I'm in the clouds. I'm excited about the hobby again. UPCs to the moon, artists to the moon, even though nobody else talk about art, which is whatever weird.
It's
Jake
actually
Smith.
crazy. I knew where this was.
Let's take a look.
I think it's this one. Hold on, let's see.
Try hit that like for uncut cheese. Light cheese. Order a light cheese tomorrow. Light cheese. Here we go. Uh-oh. Shit. Oh, baby.
Ooh.
That's nice.
There's not a scissor mark anywhere on that bad boy.
What do you think the value would be if we cut everything out?
I don't
Yo,
know.
that's
Let's try.
look how crispy the sheet looks too, man. You can tell this man takes care of his sheets.
Mhm.
Salute. That's huge. That's awesome. Yeah, I need that. Okay. Let me see how
Who's
much I
your
have in
favorite Dragon Ball Z character? We'll see if they're on here.
Oh, dude.
This is
easy.
Dragon Ball GT, but still, they're all the same, right? Who's your
The
favorite?
best character is Future Trunks.
Bro, he's gotta be on here,
He's
right?
gotta be.
I know I'm dusted, but I've always been a Piccolo fan.
Oh,
No,
brother.
Piccolo's up there. Piccolo's up there, bro.
Let's see.
Ooh, no Trunks I walk, so you better find one quick, kid.
I get it, dude.
No Trunks. Ugh.
There's a lot of Vegeta on here.
Ooh,
Android 18,
Ooh.
Goku. I'm looking. There's Goku hitting someone that looks like Trunks, but I don't think it's Trunks. Trunks might not be on here. Was Trunks in GT? Do we need to call Radar in to find out?
Yeah, let's call Radar and wake him up. We need to get to the bottom
Bro,
of this.
no, he's on PST. He's awake, dude. It's probably only like 10 p.m. there. So.
Listen, I don't think my little heart could handle Radar and Squeaks in one stream. Let's check on Jake Smith mental health. Jake Smith, how are you?
I'm just looking up Dragon Ball characters right now, so it's pretty low.
Pretty low.
Wait.
I don't see Trunks on here. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, dude.
No, you're good. I don't need Trunks. I'm buying that
Bro,
sheet.
there's a
Reserved
card
it.
on here that literally says "looking pimp like."
Bro, Squeaks, listen, package that right now to Ernie. I'm buying that sheet. I'm doing
How
it
much?
live.
How much? Do you want to close your first sale on your stream?
I have 340 on my PayPal.
That's what you're offering me for
That
this?
that has to be a snap. I mean, and it's Dragon Ball.
Squeaks.
Is anything worth 340?
Squeaks.
So
I'm
you're
willing-
offering me 340. Is that what you're saying?
240. Wait. I learned. I learned how to
This is why
negotiate.
you have to confirm.
No,
because otherwise, if you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll take that," it's like, "Ah, no, that wasn't my offer."
No,
I
learned how to negotiate from Kai, and what you do is you say 340, and that any chance of any pushback, you say 100. Like you go so low, but no, yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, 340 sounds right. Uncut sheet. How much do you think it'll cost a frame? like to do it
Depends
right.
how nice of a frame you buy. If you want to get it professionally framed, couple $100. If you want to get it just like Walmart Mainstays 24 by 36 frame, $20.
Damn. How did you know it was called Walmart Mainstays? You know those break immediately, right? Those are mid.
Yeah, those frames suck. That's why you get stuff professionally framed, but that's also super expensive. So
That's why you put the Dragon Ball in that and the Pokemon in expensive.
like here, I can show you a nice frame though.
Yeah, let me see. Come on, chat. Hit that like for nice frames, dude.
Frame stream.
Oh, dude, wait, have I ever showed you this?
No.
When I did YouTube, there's a guy that did this art for me.
Oh, that is pretty sick. Damn, that is amazing. I like
It's watercolor. Yeah, dude, it's super sick. It's definitely one of the coolest things I've ever been given. It's like a
it. And you
streamer
framed it? You framed it up?
Yeah, dude. No, this is so sick, dude. I love
Squeaks,
this.
can you confirm that you have a frame guy?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, brother. Okay.
Oh, Mason's right again.
Mason just always right. But yeah, one day I will have nice things on my wall with nice frames, Jake Smith, and that's the day we could all dream of, you know?
Yeah. Frames instead of just tacking stuff on.
So here's like a
sounds
big
nice.
frame. Can you guys see
Ooh,
this?
oh, Jesus. Let me see. Yep.
Jeez.
Sheesh.
So this is
Calm
just
down.
a fossil. But it has like it's like an actual nice frame.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like
Ooh,
here,
that's
you can see.
nice. Oh, that's fire.
It's
Be careful with
archival.
that thing. If you break
Has,
it
like-
live, we'll get more clicks, but be careful, okay?
That is true. Yeah.
Can you
then
cut
I would
it
have to
live?
spend-
No,
Has
flip it
anyone
over. Why you
cut-
show? Dude, that's beautiful, man. I really like. Squeaks, you're a bad influence. I really like Uncut Sheets now, dude. They're so different, and like, also, that's what the S tier pillars collect, Jake Smith. Look at Rusty's attic. I don't see any Elatis up in there. All I see is Uncut Sheets. Did you see his post
Uncut
today?
sheets, other than just like actual art by the artist, which is like something that like Charlie collects. It's so expensive. It's just the closest you're gonna get to an art piece in this hobby, right? Cards are cool, but they're this big. Like
They're
I
too
go put a
small,
card up on
dude.
my wall, and what that doesn't do anything.
Look
Putting
at
up
what
like an
Rusty
uncut
got.
sheet or something, like it's a true like display talking piece. There's a ton of nostalgia in them.
Well,
Look,
I'm
look,
taking my
Squeaks.
card off the wall. BRB.
Look at this, Squeaks. Look at these. And then I want to show you something else. But look, this one, I guess Rusty just bought this.
Yeah. So it's a partial sheet. But we had never
okay.
even seen this. It has like the Shining Gyarados on it and stuff, which is pretty crazy. I knew as soon as it came up, I like, dude, if Rusty doesn't already have one of those that he's never shown, he's gonna be in the DM. So I'm not surprised he bought it in the slightest. I didn't think Rusty had one because he showed his sheet collection on YouTube like a long time ago. I don't know if the video is still up, but it's unbelievable. I'm sure that he's sold some out of it and gotten others since then, but yeah, I had never seen this sheet up. But like
this post made me respect Rusty so much because there was someone in the comments like, "Oh, you're so lucky. They didn't take my offer," and he just replied back, "I bought it for full price." I was like, "That's a pillar."
Because Rusty knows that things like that, like when you're a collector, and you see something like this, that's like, I have to have this for me to feel like my collection's complete. You're not gonna sit and haggle on it if you know there's gonna be 30 other people in the DMs. You're gonna lock that deal down, close it down, so you don't have to think about it again, because you might not get another chance. You know, like there could be somebody that comes out of some Eiffel Tower somewhere with 800 of those things, but the odds are really slim.
This is such a funny comment. Something goes, can we go back? I'm invested in this gameplay.
Okay.
It's like, let's cut the uncut sheets. I'm trying to see if he's gonna beat the boss.
Oh, bro, I don't think we finished this run. This was back when I was bad and I couldn't do a run in one sitting. I'm pretty sure, but
dude, yeah, uncut sheets are juice, bro. They're juice. We gotta keep them low key. I mean,
Keep them low key. People don't know.
We've just been talking about it the whole time. Keep it low key,
Yeah.
guys. Don't
After
tell anybody.
today-
Whoa, we need to clip that segment out. All right, yeah.
Okay, wait. Whatever. We're here already, so I have a question about Uncut Sheets. Okay,
No,
I have a
I
question.
thought you were buying the sheet. What are we gonna bail
mine.
2 days
That's
in a
mine.
row?
That's mine already. That owns to me. That's mine. Just say a number. Your
How
pretty little
much?
head. Just make up a number in your pretty little head. I'll PayPal you.
350.
You got it, Bugstrap. Chat, we done it.
No,
Look-
come on. I was just kidding. Because it was $10 over what you had in your account, so I figured you'd be like, dude, I only have 340. You really gonna do me like that? No. If you want honest, like real, I got this for free. Because I won a contest on Facebook in the Uncut Sheet group where they were like doing a guess game on what the heritage sheets would end at, and I guessed right, and so the guy sent it to me. So I think you would appreciate it more. $250, and it's yours, and I'll mail it out Monday.
Okay, counter offer 250 and 6 151 packs.
250, and I don't act like you just counter offered me. And I got $100 off the price.
And we got a deal booked, ladies
Nice.
and gentlemen.
We did it.
We did it. We made a deal.
You need to get a refund on Kai's Business School of Negotiation, by the
And
way.
also-
You really did.
Wow, this is a hobby miracle, dude. I might be back in the hobby because not only did I get an uncut sheet, but Squeaks lost 50. This is a double headshot. This is like beating the game with the Mario star.
Squeaks lost
level
100.
1.
You just agreed to 350, and I sold it to 250. What are you doing?
Lost 100, chat. You saw me do it live.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do
That's
you
gotta
guys
count for
notice how
something.
he chalks that up as I lost 100 instead of I did my homie a solid and saved him 100? Nice. Interesting perspective there.
Dude, I'm excited, dude. I'm a
Hmm.
great man. I have an uncut sheet totally on my own, no help from nobody.
Hasn't paid for it, but I have it. Yeah. We have a letter of intent with an IOU stapled to it. Yeah.
Anything else, Smith? You want to ask anything else? You want to pick Squeak's brain? Oh, wait, I do have a question. Okay, real quick. If you're gonna frame the sheet, okay, obviously condition matters, but like, are you all picky about the sheet? Are you all like, oh, the corners dinged, or are you more relaxed with this type of stuff? Because I was curious, like with Rusty, right? Do you have like, are these sheets like Squeaks? Talk to me, baby. Are they scratched? Are they PSA 5, 6 condition? Or are we talking like just glossy, just like
Are you talking about this sheet or the sheets I have?
I'm saying like your saucy sheets, your bigger sheets.
Oh, yeah. Like Mew,
Like,
I
what's the
think there's like a
condition?
little crease in it. I know the test print rocket sheet that I have, there's actually a pretty sizable crease in it, but you only can see it from one side. It's on the non like the Spectrafoil side. I don't like even that fossil sheet has a crease on it. You just can barely see it. I used to have 2 of those. I sold the nicer one because I got more money out of it. For me, it's how noticeable is it when it's in a frame, and I care far less about what's going to be on the back once it's framed up than on the front. If you're buying one of these as like an investment or something like that, you got to care about condition. You should care about condition of anything you buy an investment on. But if you're just buying it for you to enjoy, like, dude, I'm going to hang my uncut sheets. If I don't have enough space for them, I'm going to get them all framed and I'll just rotate them. I'll take them off the wall every 6 months and put a different one up. So like for me, like I'll give you an example. I still haven't picked it up. I bought it like 2 years ago. A friend still has it. A Vaporeon Kangaskhan sheet where it's half and half.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the back has like baby formula on it.
Ooh.
He gave me an insane deal for it. I don't know if I'll be able to clean it off or not. The reality is I don't care because I'm not gonna, as long as it's not gonna like mold or something, I'm not gonna see it once it's framed up anyways. So I just want to see the front. Now, obviously, if I ever sold it, that's something I would need to disclose, which is why I'll take pictures of it beforehand so they don't have to unframe it to see that kind of damage and stuff.
That's good, yeah.
But yeah, you always want to be transparent about what's on it. So like, for example, the sheet that you just got, there's a tape marker, but it's just masking tape, so you can just take it off if you want. But it's a tape marker where they actually did like,
whoa,
like notes and stuff.
Dishonest seller, chat.
Whoa, no. This is a good thing for you. You can take it off if you don't like it, but you also get history if you do like it.
Okay,
This
let
guy.
me hear the history. You better be history and not tape.
No.
It
So
better be
the
history.
masking tape marker on the sheet, there's like little pencil notes that they like took of like where to do like alignment things and things like that. And so generally like that kind of stuff, I like that. I leave that kind of stuff on there. Some people are like, I just want to look at the sheet, so they would just take the masking tape off. That's your call once it's yours. But yeah, for like display sheets and stuff like that, I'm the newer the sheet, the obviously better condition you'd want it in. But I'm just kind of a firm believer that like sheets themselves are hard enough to come by. And if someone's going to give me a good deal on a sheet because it has a little bit of damage, but I believe I can frame it up and it's still going to look really nice on the wall. Also, a lot of that stuff, you got to think about the context of like where you're looking at it. If my frame's here and my face is here, you're going to see that stuff a lot more. But if you're like standing here looking at it from across the room, you're never going to see creases like that anyways. It's like cracks on your wall or something like that. You're only going to see them when you're up close. So yeah, dude, his collection's insane.
Bro,
And
this collection is bonkers.
this isn't even the OG though. Like, I'm pretty sure he used to have a ton more sheets. Maybe he just doesn't have them all framed up.
Might
But
have sold some too, right? He probably sold some of the
he
books and stuff.
probably, but I'm pretty sure Rusty still keeps at least one of every sheet. So
You know who Rusty is to me, dude? Rusty is mute. Like everybody just talks about him. As a kid, you know he exists, but you can't play with him. Pause. And like you get what I'm saying? Like he has everything. He doesn't need to sell it. Everyone's his friend. I'm hot, Jake Smith. I'm triggered. He's
Why
a
you
great man.
oh, that
You
one's
haven't
sweet.
seen
The
him
backs
yet?
are upside down. That's so cool.
Well, what
yeah,
about
dude.
what?
These are so sweet. No, his collection's insane. I have mad respect for Rusty and his collection.
Yeah, I feel like you would love being up here. This would be crazy. Oh, what about these? What about these disco
Oh,
joints?
dude, if I ever meet Rusty, we're absolutely going to geek out about Uncut sheets. Rusty's the reason I like Uncut sheets because I saw his really old video that he had where he just had them all flat and like he just took a piece of cardboard off the top and like started going through the Uncut sheets. This is like 2012 or something. And I was like, whoa,
Wow,
you
that's
can get
sick.
uncut sheets of cards. And then it was
Oh
always my
no.
dream to get one. This was back when like fossil sheets were like $250. And
Oh my
so
God.
I ended up getting to that a friend had seen them at a yard sale and was like, hey, would you be interested in these? And I was like, yeah, get them both. And so they did. And those were my first uncut sheets I ever had were two fossil sheets. That funny enough, I just hung in a Walmart mainstays frame. One of those is now the one that's actually nicely framed behind me. The other one I sold. But yeah, dude, uncut sheets of anything too. Any game I'm into. It doesn't have to be Pokemon. I like, I have a Naruto sheet. I have a Magic sheet. You guys obviously know I just bought the Yu-Gi-Oh sheet. I have altered sheets from that Kickstarter game because I think that game's really sweet. But yeah, I like sheets in general. I just think they're cool art pieces. So.
Have you seen others come up for the? I saw that he had an uncut sheet of LOB First Ed Ultra Rares. Have you ever seen one of those before?
Oh, I'll be honest, dude. Maybe, and I just don't remember. Like that one to me, it is cool. It's not like it's not surprising to me that it exists. So it wasn't like, whoa, like the things to me that are crazy when you see on sheets are sheets where they're not finished. So like obviously this one, the disco prints and stuff. The one that's really crazy to me was, and I wish I would have bought it because I look back at Heritage and see it all the time now, is the Entei sheet where it's where they apply the first print layer is the
Yeah,
CMY.
that's the one
or like,
Rusty has. Rusty has
yeah,
that one.
it's before the CMYK is done. It's like the base layer over the
Yeah,
foil,
I'll pull
with
it
the
up,
black
I'll pull
and then
it
the
up.
bump black, but they never applied the color and everything. So sick.
Really?
Dude.
That's the one you want? That's
Yeah,
so
Dude,
weird.
I
That's
think
so
I
lucky.
love sheets where it's the process isn't finished yet. That's
This one
actually
right here?
Yes, dude. That sheet is
Wow.
so
See, that's interesting.
sick, dude. I regret not bidding against him on that.
So it
He
looks
would have
good in
still won
person?
it, but he would
Have
have
you
at least
seen it?
had to earn it.
Have you seen it in person?
No.
Okay.
No, that sheet's insane. That's the Yu-Gi-Oh sheet that I bought. That's why it appealed to me because the Yu-Gi-Oh sheet, first of all, massive nostalgia for the cards on it. But the other thing is that it doesn't have the names on the ultra rares or the little Eye of Anubis symbol in the bottom right corner, and that's because they hot foil stamp that, so that comes after. It's a different line process when they print it, and so that's like this is essentially the sheet before it goes to that step. So knowing that like there's a piece of history you have there that like was in the middle of the process and never finished, like it's just like to me that's cool. Like that's cool history to like understand why the sheet is that way and that it was there and like that type of thing. I don't know. I just like I really like that aspect of it, and so that to me was why it was super appealing. So any sheets like this are like my bread and butter. The Entei sheet specifically is one I've looked back at like 100 times. It's just like, damn, I should have at least bid. So
I find that super interesting because this was one of the more for me, like I guess just my first introduction being this video and like the little whatever dust research I'd done. This one didn't really stand out to me, and I actually thought it was a bit out of place next to all the other, I guess, finish sheets.
sure.
Um, so that was just like my honest first appeal. Like when I saw it, I'm like, I'm not sure if this is the one for me, but I can also see the appeal of having an error sheet or having like an offbeat sheet in a world where you can easily get the other ones or more
Mid-production sheet. Yeah.
mid
Yeah,
production.
different
Yeah.
strokes for different folks, right? It's why a lot of like these, I wouldn't say the prototype playtest cards, those are really sweet, like the ones that are leaking out now, but like a lot of like the test print stuff where it's like, oh, this is moved over, or they try to foil here. That stuff is like not nearly as appealing to me as something that it is the final, it just didn't get finalized. And those to me are really, really cool. But that's what I'm into. Whereas other people, it's like you, right? The Entei sheet's kind of like, this one's kind of boring compared to the other ones. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. That like,
So we
it's just
have
kind of whatever you're into.
we have a funny chat here, Squeaks, and some dude said, Quilly said, catch Ernie's GT Uncut sheet on story sales ASAP.
Yeah. No, I know. Ernie's he'll come in and talk about how he got a massive lick, dude. Ripped off a Joker for a 250 sheet,
Yeah.
and then he sold it for 500, dude. Oh,
Ernie
I
was
know.
Ernie was looking for flips. Got him. He's
I
fine,
know.
chat.
Yeah, no. I know. I anticipate it.
That's too funny, dude.
Yep.
Weedy, what's up, Weedy? Welcome, dude. All right, Squeaks, we're gonna shut her down, but I just want to say my little final thing. First of all, dude, thank you so much for coming on. I don't have enough words, man. You've helped me out so much, not only as a business, but as a human. I definitely appreciate you, my friend, and not just for the $100 lick on the uncut sheet, but for everything
But
that
mostly for the $100 lick.
mostly for I'm about to catch a lick, but no, seriously, like you even encouraged us to do more of this content and to put our name out there and stuff. So definitely a super positive influence on my life, Squeaks, and thank you very much, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, you've had a positive influence on mine too.
Yeah. Smith, what are you thinking, bro? How do we shut her down?
Just retweet of everything Ernie just said about Squeaks. Really appreciate you coming on. Taught us both a lot. And yeah, definitely want to do it
he's
again.
gone. Well, he left. I'll see you later. Bye, Squeaks.
Well, he left.
Well, shut her down.
Yeah, everything I said was a lie. Didn't enjoy anything about this podcast. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm about to pee myself, so let's shut her down.
Wait, before we shut it down, real quick, guys, like and subscribe. Hit the Discord. Tap in with us. Squeaks is always in there. Mason's always in there. Oh, he's back. Okay, he's back. Go ahead.
I just couldn't stand it anymore. The dust
right, Squeaks,
time is just all set.
Last words for the hobby,
no,
bro.
actually, my internet just died. But that was very nice what you said. I appreciate it, guys. Join the Discord so you can watch Ernie score a massive lick on the sheet that I just sold him and cut him a deal on that I'll never hear the end of.
Bidding starts tomorrow at $1. Tune in. Let's go.
There will be a live Discord auction for this sheet. He's actually going to have me mail it directly to you.
To James. Yeah, just send it right to James.
Yeah. You can actually just PayPal the first $250 to me and then the rest to him. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna PayPal you right now. All right, Squeaks, you have the last word, and we're gonna shut it down. Go for it.
No, I appreciate you guys. I think it's great that you're making content. I hope you keep doing it. And cool. Jake Smith, tell your friend sorry that you didn't get to come hang out with him. My bad.
No, it's good. I pushed it back. We're about to go head out. We're gonna
see peace, everybody. Have a great night, Squeaks. See you later, Smith. Shut it down. Peace, guys.
Shut her down.